Hello everyone, Rorius here, back with the Aperture Tag developer commentary. I remember we were only just sort of beginning. We've only done a couple of
This is the
tests.
Advanced Jumping Training Course. It will teach you, ideally, how to navigate through future test chambers.
Yeah, so we'd only sort of just begun. I don't know if I have anything to say about the previous one. I don't fully recall how far we got, but I know we were pretty... It was only sort of a handful of minutes in, so let's move on.
In early designs of this chamber, you had to climb your way up first. Feedback was that this didn't teach anything new and was simply repetitive, thus I changed the entrance area.
Yeah. I actually don't remember this chamber much, so... yeah, we'll just solve the navigation. Oh god. I hit the top part of it, so I accidentally nearly fell off. Luckily, if you're touching blue paint and you press the spacebar, it'll bounce off, even if you're touching it against the wall, like this. If you press space, you bounce... Oh god. You bounce off the blue paint, so...
This double wall jumping is the hardest trick that I teach the players. The key is to jump from a shallow angle, so that you have more velocity on the front direction. The way the floor is positioned forces the player to enter from a shallow angle, increasing the success rate on the jump.
Yeah. So you don't want the player coming in at too much of an angle. I'll use my hands to describe it in just a second. Yeah, if you come in sort of... I can't do it. If you come in too much of an angle, like if you come in too much like this, you'll not bounce right, you know, off the side of it, so you'll miss the next one. If you come in at a much shallower angle, you'll bounce off at a much shallower angle, and so you will therefore be able to make it. So yeah, you need to hit that one. Oh god! Once again, I saved myself. Even then, I didn't come in at a shallow enough angle. This one's probably better because you can actually start from a standstill. You don't need to use blue paint to get onto the surface. Yeah, these ones are quite hard to do properly before you start moving. Before you start jumping. Sorry, they're hard to do while in mid-jump, so it's better to prepare. I would say that probably the original Aperture Tag, the original tagged power paint was a little bit more finicky in the sense that you'd bounce really easily off walls, which was problematic in the sense that you sometimes would accidentally you'd bounce when you don't want to bounce. He added these into he added this like these beams in to show where if there's a gap, show where the thing leads to. Something I added into all of the mod stuff in the reboot version, because I had none of those in the original Portal Unity mod. Yeah, oh, I thought for a minute there I left the box behind. Yeah.
Nicely done. I love that final jump. Looks really fun. Sometimes I wish I had legs so I could do what you do, but then I remembered the other things we do to test subjects. I probably shouldn't have said that. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine.
The reason why I ditched the elevators was that the vacuum tubes had more potential to be more visually interesting in the behind the scenes, and also because they're a much faster way of transportation. It also means that Aperture has downgraded the value of the player, as they are no longer worthy of an elevator. They are just another object that needs to be moved around.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before in the Portal 2 developer commentary, about how in a lot of these, the use of these tubes, and in the Portal 2, the use of the tubes, use of like a capsule going through the tubes, was that idea of the sort of devaluation of the test subjects. What was I going to do? There was something I was going to do before we continued. Nope, I don't know. I'm just going to leave. Yeah, so it meant for... Using these tubes means you get to see a lot more of this kind of stuff. Cool. Alrighty.
Look at this! I just looked at the documentation for these big monitors. Let me show you myself. Sweet, isn't it? Now you can look at me. So it's not as creepy knowing you're being watched, cause you can watch me too. How cool is that? Oh!
Oh, no.
The door. Let me get that for you.
I just remembered what I was going to do. Okay, that's better. Yeah, before I was having the problem where every time I would zoom in, it would come up with a little pop-up saying toggle zoom. I don't want it to say that anymore, so I've turned it off. Alright, let's listen to this.
This was actually the map where I learned how to make monitors. Nigel and I share some similarities, as this is the first full game I make, and it's also Nigel's first time testing. Thus, some of Nigel's comments tend to mirror my thoughts as well.
Yeah, basically Nigel, or is it Nigel? Yeah, it is Nigel. The personality sphere who's helping you through this, or, you know, taking you through this, is essentially the creator in this game. Because, yeah, as he said there, this is the first chamber he learned how to do this, so it's the first chamber that Nigel learned how to do it. I get it. It's similar design philosophy, a similar way of coming at the levels as I took.
And the song. Good luck.
The jump towards the cube went through many iterations. Initially, there was a longer panel that had a small angle, so you had to jump up and then fall down and it would fling you across. This angle was very hard to see. Players thought it was just a normal, insignificant panel. In the end, the easier way to get across is to jump without gel first, and then use the gel to get across.
That's not... He lied! He lied to me. Right, okay, I see what he meant. Okay, no, he didn't lie, I just misinterpreted his words. Alrighty. I don't know if... I love these lights. I have started using them somewhere in poor Unity reboot. So what is this? Oh, the exit. Okay. I don't know if I have to... Yeah, it's actually easier to go like that. Right, I think that just lowered that platform so that you could actually make it up here. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it's like this. Nope, it's not. It probably is, but I did it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Yeah. I didn't take the box with me. Oh, actually, there's a few areas like that. Isn't this one of them? Is this one of the... It is one of the secrets. I was right. See, I don't think I'm going to find all these. I don't know if I ever found them in the first place. Oh, God. Yeah. What do you see? I don't know, what do I see? I see... Somehow I just flushed that toilet. Authorized personnel only. Is it supposed to... It's... I think it's... This is trying to tell you to question... That's right. The way paint works is weird. I think it's trying to get you to question what it is that's real and what's not. What you see and what you don't see. Oh god. It's always scary. Yeah, so there's a bunch of those hidden around, which I will probably forget about. I'll probably miss a few. Is this the only node?
The jump toward...
No, it was the second node, so we've already heard the first one. Yeah. That turns that on. So now I just need to... Can I just jump directly up to it? I think I can. I don't think there's any other secrets in this level. I don't think you can shoot paint while you're in there. Oh, you can. Oh dear. I love that you can do that. I don't know why I love that. I just think it's really neat. Oh, I'm now that I've seen that hidden area, now I'm like questioning, am I able to get up there? I know there's a bunch of secrets, and I actually know that, well, I seem to recall there being a secret within a secret in one of the later levels. Oh god, I thought I'd killed myself, but I managed to survive. Okay. Oh, right. I just forgot. I only just remembered. That's right. You spray the box with blue paint, wait until it bounces itself off there and falls to its... Nope, it's gonna land down there. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now it respawns directly onto the button. Yeah. Yeah. I'll try.
You seem to be getting the hang of this. See you on the other side. Although I can see you all the time you're in the ventilatory dispatch system.
Yes, though I will try my best to find the little secrets and stuff, because I know there's at least 2 special personality spheres that you can find. Is it in this game? I think it's in this game. I believe it's in this game. There are 2 special personality spheres that are hidden around the chambers, and I will endeavor to find them. I think if I don't find them, I will look up where they are, and I will return to them and insert them into the video. Okay.
Now this is where the fun begins. A real puzzle. You will have to use all the skills you've learned in the previous chambers. Let me put some ambient music on to get us in a good puzzle-solving mood. Good luck.
Yeah.
This chamber was the first puzzle designed for the paint gun. It came out from feedback where players expected puzzles from a portal map. After I finished this puzzle, I knew that a paint gun would have many possibilities with all the testing elements from Portal 2.
Right, right.
The old Aperture turrets here are made by Rachel. In order to have the turrets behave as a normal turret, I worked off a script used in Aperture Valentine. This script allows us per map swapping of turrets. So in old Aperture there are old turrets, in new Aperture there are the normal turrets.
Right, okay.
Please put me down.
Cool. Oh dear. So that's really interesting, because like so they used a special code for that. Okay, that's interesting, because I do know that the turrets in Portal 2 have multiple, there's multiple skinned versions of them. So I don't know. I was not expecting to hear that they coded something specific for that. I think I'm just gonna blue paint him from a distance. So yeah, this is the first. I think this is what he was saying. It's the first chamber to have all the puzzle elements from the previous game, from the previous game, Portal 2, from Portal 2. Well, as many of them as possible. Right, so you're gonna need a reflect cube for that? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, this is an example of something that doesn't come up in the single player Portal, Portal 2 that is, but is actually able to be done in single player, and is utilized in the multiplayer version, and that is putting paint on the hard light surfaces. In the co-op, originally only the blue paint worked. I think was it the only? I feel like it was only the blue paint that would only blue paint would appear, but your orange paint still worked, or maybe neither of them worked, but they would appear, like visually they would appear. I actually don't remember now. All I know is that with the addition of some later co-op campaign levels, they added the functionality of both orange and blue portal, it's blue paint, to work completely as normal on the hard light surfaces.
The Ratman Den in this map was the first Ratman Den created. It came up simply from trying to think ways to get to places where I didn't intend the players to get. There are two ways to get to the secret area. You can jump from this node back to the top of the intro and then climb back from the truss, or you can jump from the tractor beam that pushes you up.
Right, okay, so I don't even know there was a secret in this level. Thank you for pointing that out. I think that what he meant at this part was something like this. Yeah, so you jump down to here, and then you jump up here. Here? Oh wait, there's something over there. I think he meant, I think I misinterpreted what he said. So we'll just go back about our business. Oh, maybe? No, okay, not high enough. Cool. So we'll go about the puzzle. What do I need here? I need that to be active. No, wait, I don't, no. Is it just this part here? Oh, right, of course. I don't know why that took me so long to realize. Yeah. So yeah, this turns that both of them are on. So I would need the box. But the button did that. Huh. Oh god, that didn't work for some reason. I feel like... Oh my god, I'm an idiot. There we go. I was just taught how to do that. Well, taught. I already knew how that worked, but I'd just been shown it happening a frickin' second ago. Sometimes I'm so dumb. Oh dear. So I think this is where it was talking about getting to there. I think one of the methods was that you jump from this platform up here. God, moving really slow towards it. There we go. They got the dirty version of pivot cube, and then they've got, yeah, so they was talking about the secret being you could get it from the tractor beams, or you could go from up top here. I think what I will do is I'll put this just down like that. Yes, perfect. And then bounce off here, over here. Yeah. So we found the second of the...
Where are you? I can't see you. Did you find anything interesting? Just be sure to go back into the testing chamber when you are done with your, business. Ew, I forgot humans needed to leak. I don't want to think as to what it is in that goo at the bottom of the test chamber. Disgusting.
Yeah, there's probably plenty of humans, you know, melted down, as well as urine and other things in the acid. For whatever reason, these toilets are flushable. But yeah, seeing is not believing. Yeah, I thought the previous one was talking about that. Yeah, because there's not necessarily what you, yeah, in the Aperture Science facilities, what you see is not necessarily what is real. Plenty of stuff to make you oh god. Plenty of stuff to make you think that you're doing one thing when you're really doing another. Alrighty, so now I just gotta go back down No! No! You bastard! Part of me knew that was gonna happen. I didn't want it to happen, but part of me just thought, oh, I bet that's gonna happen. I don't know why it keeps telling me not to bounce there. It's like, I need to bounce. Stop telling me not to bounce. No. Okay. Oh my god! Alright, so we're back. And now I just gotta bounce down here and not fall to my death. And then you just do
Nicely
this.
done. You may now exit the room. Chop chop. You should be able to reach the exit rather quickly.
Okay. There we go. Cool. I don't think I missed any nodes. What was this one? That was the third or fourth, so here's the fourth here. Cool.
The vacuum tube.
Wait. Cool. No,
The
just not gonna say
vacuum
anything.
tube ride came as a need to explain to the player why all of a sudden they are in the new and destroyed Aperture. I decided that having a long and inefficient ride would tell a glimpse of how Nigel just put everything together with his limited knowledge and inefficiency.
Cool. So is this gonna be right? So this is just another one of these. Oh, cool. This is actually part of part of Portal 2. These are all of the spheres that you do in Portal 2. Yeah, see, we're heading towards the later stages of... But have I missed it? Damn, I think I missed some of it, but yeah, there's basically... you're flying through all the spheres that you went through in oh yeah, and now we just went through that area, the spring area that takes you to the new part. So yeah, that was basically just a way of showing that you're no longer going to be in the old areas of Aperture. I love that. I think that's fantastic. It's perfect. Perfect use of time. Perfect, like, explanation.
So, it turns out that the vacuum tube I gave you for the previous test does not connect to the next test chamber. So, we are going to have to walk for a little bit.
That's interesting. Yeah, you get to be in the background areas. I always love the background areas. They're the most interesting in my opinion. Remember, if a future you tries to warn you about this test, don't listen. Alrighty. How long have we been going? Not too long? Alrighty. So now I just have, it's just blue, it's not orange yet. Yeah, cool. Oh, here's like a
This
Portal 2
elevator is
style.
malfunctioning, so we will have to turn around and see if we can find somewhere else where we can continue our tests.
It doesn't even have one of the doors. It doesn't even have a like an entry door at all. Alrighty. Some HDR lighting right there.
The idea to reuse a test chamber comes back from Portal, where you resolve a test when you go behind the scenes after GLaDOS tries to kill you. It's time for the players to relearn how to tackle puzzles with the new tools they have encountered.
Yeah. So this is, I think it's actually really cool. They've done an interesting thing with the intro area. Yeah, that's right. You fell from up there. That's where you fell from. Cool. So yeah,
This test chamber was for another test, which we are not assigned to. It was supposed to be solved with a portal gun. Wicked stuff. I'm sure there's a way we could solve it in our way.
yeah, of course. And this is the test chamber with smooth jazz in it, which I think is just the best of all the jokes. The best joke. Yeah, so let's have a listen.
Covering the cube in blue gel will render this test unsolvable. Clear gel is not available, so fizzing the cube is the only way to solve this problem. Portal 2 already showed us that the personality sphere in charge can fizzle cubes at their will, as shown in the test chamber when you encounter the companion cubes and GLaDOS fizzles them twice.
Yeah. That's really interesting, actually. That's really cool. What's this area down here? Clearly it's not accessible, but that's really cool. Are you able to... No, of course it's this. I often forget this particular version, we're not in a normal sort of situation in which you can do this. Yeah. I like that he left the... I like that he put the portal here, in there, as though the test is going, you know, as per normal with a portal gun, and yeah, that you can solve it without the portal. So it's there, but it's not usable. I actually think it's fantastic. Oh, and it extends straight to this one, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I like that it's still able to sit up there despite there being no surface. And I managed to get it off without even jumping. You just paint your way up there, normally. I'm gonna do that a lot, probably. It's gonna be annoying. Yeah, I actually think it's really clever, the idea of you utilizing an old portal test chamber and having the player solve it using paint instead of portals. I think it's really cool. Almost like enough to prove that you could make a game out of just the paint mechanics. Yeah, and I love that the portals. I love that portals are just showing up normally. Oh, no stopper thing from stopping you from painting down there. Lol. I found a bug. It's not really a bug. It's just me being a dick.
Nicely done. I couldn't have done it better myself. Now, we have to find a vacuum delivery system to get you to the next test chamber.
This is actually a bit strange. This is almost like they've added non-canon elements to the puzzle. I liked that previously in the start of the puzzle you were up above. Ah, yes. No, I remember there's a trick to this one. To this Ratman Den. So this is normally in the game. This one already exists in the game. Not very eventful, but there's this whole thing up here. So if I'm not mistaken, you can just... Oh, no, you paint the walls here. You do all the painting before you exit. So that, can you paint down here at all? Maybe not. Let's just have a look. What could we possibly paint? What do we need to paint to get up there? Or do we not need to paint at all? Or do we paint this wall and we bounce off of it? I think that's it. And I like that the music's picking up over there. Now, I don't remember what part of the wall it was, so I'm just going to paint all the wall. Yeah, in the mod thing that we were working on, that was an Aperture... Oh, it's like a tag mod thing that we were working on. Oh god, no. Come on, there we go. Oh, I didn't paint high enough. Damn it. Yeah, in the mod that we were working on that we never released, we never made, didn't really get very far in production, so there's nothing really to release. But in that mod that we were making, we had gone for the full tag style, where all of the paints, you would unlock the paints via literally bottles of the paint that were floating around, much like in the original. Like in the original game, in Tag the Power of Paint, you unlocked the paint by collecting these, well, they look like spray cans. They were sort of more like spray, like graffiti in that game. And you unlock the graffiti cans and they would stick out of your gun. We did something similar where we had a gun type thing that had little lights that showed you what was lit up. It's kind of like how this one has the blue and orange paint sitting there, except that ours would be blank if you had no paint, basically. And so it would light up blue if you had blue paint. It would light up orange if you had orange paint. And then there would also be like an indicator light to show you what kind of paint you're currently selected, because what we did is we had, I think we actually had 4 lights with the intention of figuring out how to get the stick gel from from early Portal 2 to work in the mod, although we never...
Just jump in it and we'll be on our way.
Oh, is this the right way? Is this the way you're supposed to go? Oops. 1 second.
This elevator is broken too, I think. We are looking for a vacuum delivery system. The door is rigged to open when the subject walks through the corridor. I should have probably prevented that from happening.
Yeah. Cool, okay, so I didn't realize that was the way it was supposed to go. Whoops. Lol. But yeah, so the way we had done it, we had little indicator lights that showed you what type of paint you had currently selected, and you could have, in the version that we had made, up to the point that we stopped working on it, we had the blue and orange, of course, paint. The purple paint was just non-functional completely. We hadn't even given it like a placeholder or anything, but we also had the neutral or the zero state, which was the water shooter, the clear gel shooter. So you could erase paint at will, and that lined up probably better with how the original game was, because Tag the Power Paint, you could erase paint at will. Basically, you could erase it whenever you want. Oh. We went a different direction to the way I thought we were going to be going. Are we going back down to old Aperture again? Okay. That's interesting. So we went all the way up and then all the way back down again. Oh dear. It's a bit strange. The only thing I would say is a little bit strange that there's the clear tubes in the downstairs area, but I guess the idea is that this is post Portal 2's events, so yeah, the gels...
This test does make use of portals as a testing element. If you've never bumped into them before, they're pretty straightforward. Thingy goes in, thingy goes out.
Yeah, I guess the idea is that he's directed these tubes down to old Aperture, and so there's bits of new Aperture showing up in old Aperture. It's fair enough, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty. What I think I'll do is I think I'll leave this episode here. So we're up to Test Chamber 6 of 16. Yeah, so some really interesting stuff, and I will continue to talk about our mod and the original Tag the Power Paint to reference, you know, the sort of things that he's done and link anything with potentially what we had done or what Tag had done, just for interest, in case anyone is actually interested. I just thought I'd link those games to that. And if anyone's actually interested in seeing some of the Tag game that we had made, I think we called it, it was called Tag the Origin of Paint. Yeah, it was an interesting mod, and if anyone's actually interested in seeing it, I might be able to share some images of it. We actually did upload it to ModDB. We uploaded some screenshots and stuff that we had done to ModDB, but before we managed to, we didn't have a whole lot of stuff to share, or have a lot of stuff to put on there, and unfortunately, the person in charge, who I will not name, the person in charge of the of setting up that particular web page, didn't set up enough stuff in time, and it got before the page was authorized, it got just taken back down off ModDB, and I think we'd been losing interest in the mod for a little bit, mainly I think because of lack of motivation amongst some of the people working on it, and we'd sort of lost interest a little. We were losing motivation and losing morale to keep working, but that them taking the page off of ModDB, just basically saying, just cancelling what we'd done on ModDB, was kind of like one of those last straws to break the camel's back sort of thing, and we just thought, we're done. We're probably not going to make anything further, which is unfortunate because I actually really liked that idea. And if we'd continued on it, we might have been able to continue with more interesting projects, but what are you going to do? That was the past now. So yeah, I can probably show you some of the screenshots, that if I still have screenshots. I know I still have the mod files and stuff like that, so I know I still have a version of it on my computer, but I don't know if I still have the screenshots that we shared. I'd have to have a look. It might even still exist on ModDB as just like an archived, cancelled upload thing. But yeah, anyway, if you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more of this, then subscribe. There's going to be quite a few more of these episodes, I think. I don't remember how long this game is, so I don't know how long the developer commentary will go on for. But nevertheless, yeah, I do a lot of Let's Plays and developer commentary stuff, so if you want to see any more of that, then subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always,